So it's very, very dangerous.
There was a very terrible accident.
It's so creepy.
And screams of pain.
Liable for our injury or death. So it's interesting to keep hearing that number.
Hi guys, thank you for tuning into AmysCrypt. I am in the Philippines, here to check out the Manila Film Center, which is right behind me. Now this place has some very gruesome legends attached to it, as well as a lot of ghost stories, and is thought to be one of the most haunted places in the country. Alright guys, because it's gotten a little bit darker and I'm standing in front of the Manila Film Center now, I'm going to give you a rundown of its history and ghost stories, because these stories are very gruesome. They're a little bit scary as well, so I figure this is a good place to do that. So the Manila Film Center was built by an extremely wealthy woman at the time named Imelda Marcos, and she had this place built to rival some of the biggest film festivals going around the globe. This place cost $25 million to be built, which is an extreme amount of money at the time, and it was also paired with an extremely tight deadline for completion of January of 1982. Imelda had 4,000 workers employed around the clock to constantly work on this place to meet that ridiculous deadline. But as that deadline was so tight, it said that there were a lot of corners cut in the construction of this place. On November 17 at 3 a.m, there was a very terrible accident. Some scaffolding fell, which saw 168 workers fall to their death and become stuck in wet cement. Now supposedly when Imelda heard this news, instead of trying to look out for the welfare of the people who died or may have been injured, she instantly thought of her tight deadline, and she put the order forward to have those who were killed or still half alive be buried under an extra layer of cement so that construction could go forward and the deadline could be met. Additionally, which made this incident a lot worse, she also banned anyone from entering the premises for the first 9 hours following this incident. So there was no ambulance workers, no medical workers, or anyone to rescue anyone that had been injured in this terrible accident. Another woman named as Betty Bettinas, who was actually overseeing the construction of this place, was the person who received the order from Imelda to have everyone entombed within the construction of the film center. So she passed that order forward. She is said to have died very shortly after that incident, and is still thought to haunt this place today alongside the 168 other people who were encased within the concrete of the film center. One of the common reports of paranormal activity to come out of the film center is people hearing disembodied moans, groans, and screams of pain. And a lot of people believe that that is the people who were killed during its construction. Additionally, there is areas where the temperature will drop really suddenly, and there has been a lot of apparition sightings here, some of which are described as being half a torso poking out of the ground as if they are stuck in wet cement. Another ghost story from this area is that some taxi drivers have claimed to pick up a woman from the front of the film center who has torn and bloodied clothing and asks to be taken to the hospital. So of course they go to help this woman, but she just disappears in the back seat very shortly after. Although this is one of the most told and best known ghost stories going around Manila and the Philippines, some people out there believe it has been sensationalized, and I was able to find a little bit of info online that supported this. So I read one article that said that there were only 7 deaths. It is true, there was an accident, 7 deaths, which is still terrible, but not the same level as 168 people dying. It also said that all of those bodies were removed from the film center and given the proper burials. So what do you guys think? Do you believe that there's any truth behind this legend? Has it been sensationalized? Is this place actually haunted? Tonight we're gonna hang around. I can't actually get access inside the building, unfortunately, but we're still going to try a spirit box out here and see if there are any ghosts around that may want to communicate and set their story straight. Alright guys, so we've come around the side of the film centre. We went up the top earlier and we got some panning of the outside. I spoke to security and they wouldn't let me inside because supposedly it is very dangerous. They do have caution signs posted around because there's large bits of concrete and stones that are falling off of the structure now since it's been abandoned. So it's very, very dangerous. Can't get inside, but we've just found this bottom entry here. So I figure we take a look. I mean, I want to try a spirit box tonight, and maybe this is the best area to do so. I figure the lower down and closer to the center we can get, the closer we would be to where anyone may be entombed inside, if the stories and legends are true, you know? So maybe, I mean, it smells like weed here really badly.
I think it's like actually.
Okay. Right, you know what, we're just going to do a spirit box now. There are security hanging around, so I mean I might get asked to leave, which is fine. I have done a few translations for tonight on the spirit box of Filipino, but since being here I've learned that English and Filipino are the two most commonly spoken languages here in the Philippines. Something like 75% of people speak English, so I actually don't feel bad reaching out here in English, so I might just conduct this full session here in English and see how we go. This is a spirit box at the Manila Film Centre. Hello, my name is Amy. Is there anyone around that wants to talk? Can you come close and say hello? Could you tell me your name, please? Could you please tell me how many people died here?
Seven? Thought I heard seven a few times.
I think I heard something that sounded like a number, but... It is interesting to note that I cannot hear the word 7 spoken at all during this playback. But keep watching, as something very compelling is about to come through the spirit box. If you did hear 7, that's the amount they believe actually died, not the 168 that the story says. How many spirits are here with me? Seven.
The picture is 7.
If there are 7 spirits here with me, can you please tell me one of your names? My name is Amy. Do you speak English or Filipino? Can you tell me what the year is? Thank you.
I definitely heard 7 once very clearly, but possibly a few times. So that's interesting because, I mean, most of the stories that have circulated says 168 people died here, whereas the one story I found that saying that's completely false said it was only 7 people. So it's interesting to keep hearing that number. We might try a spirit box in another area and see if we can maybe get some of the same results and see if we can hear 7 again. Maybe that is a really relevant number, I'm not sure. But that was kind of cool. I really wish that we could get inside. Can't do that for every location. Alright, so we're just walking around the exterior of the film centre and we found an amazing sign that says amazing show. An amazing show was I believe it was a drag performance that used to run here back in the day after, the place fell into disrepair and whatnot. But it's kind of cool that this is still here and it still illuminates on the front of the centre as well. This place is in pretty bad shape. I spoke a little of the warnings and whatnot earlier, and you can see the floor, is full of cracks. And there's a big hole over here. We also have a lot of surface cracks in the actual structure, so just down here. So this place is in pretty bad shape, but the area around it is being built up. There's just behind me, the noise that you guys can maybe hear is a construction site. It looks like they're making a high-rise of some sort. We have a fancy hotel over here, as well as a little shopping complex with a lot of restaurants and whatnot. So I'm not sure what the future holds for this place, but it did seem that they were working on it today when we got here. So I wonder when their last event would have been. Seems like it can't have been that long ago. I can't see anything through the windows, they're all painted black. Here's one of these big signs. Caution, keep clear, falling rocks. And they're not liable for our injury or death. I'm pretty sure I can also hear bat. Yeah, I can hear bats. Okay guys, we moved around the other side of the Manila Film Centre and we're sitting on the stairs at the front of it. This is actually one of the quieter sides. I think they're sawing some wood over here and it's a bit of traffic, but hopefully we can cut through that noise with the spirit box. We did have what sounded like some interesting responses before on the other side. Jared and I both thought that we heard the number 7, though you always need to play those things back and just double check. Gonna see if we can get any similar responses on this side. Maybe that the voices sound similar too. Even if we do get a voice, it doesn't mean it's paranormal, but we want to try this experiment anyway. Alright, we got some suspicious looking teenagers hanging around us. So we're gonna go ahead with the spirit box, but we just hope we don't get attacked or something. Hi, my name is Amy. Is there anyone here that can come and talk to me? Unlike the first spirit box session, this one did not yield a single response, which can often be the case when investigating the paranormal. Still, I am left to ponder the response calling out the number 7 we received earlier, and whether it has any true relevance to this site. What do you think? Please share your thoughts with me in the comments below. So I tried a different frequency and sweep rate than I usually use, just them, to mix things up and see if we could still get words or responses through. I didn't really hear anything come through. There's also a bit of noise and there's like a group of people that are kind of watching us, getting a bit closer to us, so I think it might almost be time to bounce. It's so creepy being here and knowing all the legends and stories about this place, and
just walking on this concrete floor and thinking if all those stories are true and there were people just cemented over in here just to meet a deadline. It's terrible, really. I kind of hope that the legend isn't true, to be honest. But there are so many ghost stories about this place. I did want to come and check it out. It's also a very strange and eerie building. I don't think it's it's a little bit ugly, in my opinion. And because it's been abandoned for some time, I don't know, it just doesn't have that grand feeling that this place should have had. I also used to work in cinema a long time, so it's kind of cool to like come here, and I really, really wanted to see inside, but unfortunately just a little too dangerous, this one. Alright, so this has been kind of an interesting place to explore the history and ghost stories of, and I kind of like that we were able to do a little spirit box. I think that we got a response through, but I'm going to need to look at the footage. I hope that you guys did enjoy this video though. Thank you for watching it. If you did like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe, that way I can keep taking you to these creepy places all around the world. If you want to do any more reading on the haunted locations I have visited, head to AmysCrypt.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at AmysCrypt. Until next time.